So hey y'all, we're back from our cruise and we had a blast.
Yes.
And we're still resting. It's so funny because
So tired.
we're, like I said, those are our three famous words. We're so tired. I am tired. We say it all the time, not in like a excruciatingly exhausting way, but just lots of movement, lots of
effects of the trip,
lots of activity. So we're just getting back home. As you can see from the background, I still got my birthday decorations because they pink and I love them. But at any rate, we wanted to kind of recap some of the events on the ship and just some of the comparisons to the other cruises that we've done. Trust and believe, we're not avid cruisers by no stretch. However, we have been on several other cruises. We did the Carnival cruise once, only once. So our recollection from that is, it's kind of choppy, but
years old.
We're going to try our best to do some comparison. And we did the Royal Caribbean twice. The first one was probably 10, 12 years ago. And the most recent one was maybe 2 years ago. And of course, the very recent one that we did was the Virgin Voyage. And we just kind of wanted to give you an idea if you're planning on cruising and don't have an idea of which one you want to choose. Just kind of, you know, here's some of our points. And like I said, it's been a minute since we've been on the other two, but here we go. And I don't have a lot of different categories that I'm comparing. I'm just comparing like this. I have notes here. That's why I'm looking down at my computer because I can't remember.
And I'm here for decoration.
And she's here from her point of view, what she can recollect. So I have the size of each ship, the aesthetic of each ship that we cruise. Each ship has different, each line have different types of ships. So the one that we did, the size, the aesthetics, the food, and the entertainment. Those are the only four things that really matter to me. So just looking at the notes that I saw on the computer and from my recollection, the Carnival, the Royal, and the Virgin. Now the Carnival had like 14 different passenger decks.
That was the Carnival Breeze.
That was the Breeze, thanks Val. And then the Royal has, what's that? 13 decks.
And that was the Mariner of the Sea.
The Mariner of the Sea, which left Galveston. So if you're cruising the Royal, just remember, this is the Mariner of the Seas from Galveston. Also, Carnival Breeze from Galveston. They're different ships in different locations. These are the ones that we're talking about. So they have 13 different decks. Now, the Virgin has more decks. And I saw that when we ventured out on our first excursion, I panned the camera. I was like, whoa, this is a really tall ship. But to say they have the most decks, they have the least amount of passenger cabins. So they have 1,330 passenger cabins. They have the least amount compared to Carnival has 1945 and Royal has 1557. And Val pointed out maybe they have the least amount is because
the size is a little bit larger.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more movement area, not a lot, but a little bit more.
But you do feel the difference. If you cruise Carnival and Royal, you're going to feel that little bit of, I don't even know how many feet. I didn't look at square footage at all. I didn't want to get that detail.
Our square footage was, for our room, was 185.
Somewhere around there. I don't remember, but you feel it. I would never remember the square footage number. I remember the feel. She's the numbers person. I remember how it felt. When you walked in Virgin, you had space. You could pull your suitcase around the bed. You didn't have to scoot, inch, scoot, inch, and all that stuff. It just felt so comfortable, and it was wide, it was deeper. So you felt like you had space.
Also, we had the opportunity to upgrade up to like a 350 square foot for a bit more money.
Yeah.
Which they sold out of before we could upgrade.
So again, Virgin has the least amount of cabins, and they also have the least amount of passenger capacity for the cruise. And that also includes their staff as well, because I think they have like 1,200 or so
on Virgin
staff members or whatever. So that's just the size of the ship. And again, those are just the three that we've cruised: the Carnival Breeze, the Mariner of the Sea, Royal Caribbean, and the Scarlet Lady out of Miami for the Virgin Voyage. Virgin Voyage is just a wee bit smaller ship, but it's but you feel that difference in the cabin space. So you will probably appreciate that, I'm sure. So the aesthetics of each, just kind of what it looks like, what it feels like. When I first cruised the Carnival, well, the only time we cruised the Carnival, it was a few years ago. You know, my mother, my brother, my nephew, Zaire, Val, her sister, we all went. We had a really, really, really nice time. And what I noticed is it's very family oriented. If you're doing a family reunion or a celebration or anything like that, and all the families coming, all the kids are coming, you're gonna have a ball. It is so family friendly, and they keep it upbeat and vibrant, right?
Keyword is kids.
Kid friendly. So don't worry about what to do with the kids. If you're cruising Carnival, at least the Carnival Breeze, you're going to have daycare. They have scheduled times for daycare. Of course, there's a time where you have to pick them up and keep them for a minute, because they do shut down for a few hours.
Supervised kid activities.
Yeah, very much so. They have
so the parents can go away by themselves and do other things.
Yeah, they really engage. They're just not sitting there being babysat. They're actually doing activities. They're doing coloring, painting. They do a scavenger hunt around the cruise. They do games. They really engage the kids, and the kids love it. My nephew and Zaire, they liked it a lot, but they do close for a few hours just so you can come pick up your kids. And then that's when the water park, the kids love the water park. So they have a lot of kid-friendly stuff. They have a kids club, a tween club as well, and of course, an adult club. They have a kids pool. They have a smaller adult pool, just in case you don't want to be involved with all the activity with the kids in one pool. So they have music that just caters to everybody. There's a constant pool party on the Carnival around the pool, a really large, nice pool. So you're gonna have a really nice time if you choose Carnival, especially if you're taking your kids. Right now. Anything else about the Carnival?
Carnival tends to also, instead of just entertaining you, they draw you in and make you a part of the party.
Very interactive. Yeah, very interactive. It's aesthetic wise, it just looks like a big fun ship. Very vibrant colors, kind of up-to-date modern stuff. Now for me, Val has a difference of opinion when it comes to the Royal. From what I recollect, again, I was stationed in California, it seems like a million years ago, when we cruised from the Royal from there. And it was probably like maybe 12, 15, I don't know. I didn't do the calculation how long ago it was, but this is what I can recall. It was, of course, more adult friendly. You really don't even see a lot of kids on this ship. And if you do, they're kind of older kids. I didn't see a lot of little tiny tots on the Royal. To me, it caters to a more mature, kind of middle age, I would say 40 plus age group. It's a little calmer. It's not as vibrant and active. They do have a really nice pool. To me, the aesthetics, the decor, I said it was kind of like a Victorian feel, kind of traditional, like wooden furniture. The bars still had that wooden saloon kind of look. They had a very traditional carpet, and just the chandeliers was just kind of reminded me of this Victorian kind of house. Val says she recollects otherwise.
Yeah, it was really, to me, still modern. They had like a mall area where they have the big carnivals, and everything was colorful, and we had parades down there. And they also catered to all of the patrons to get us involved with dancing and having fun. So I didn't see it as old phobia like she's saying. They had a great teenage group.
I just remember old.
So we were on two different ones too, as well.
We only did one Royal. No, we did.
No, two.
Two Royals. You're right.
Yeah.
And
they had the teenage group activities. No, I mean, we were dancing, and they would pull us ahead dance activities. I thought it was nice.
Well, yeah, I didn't say the activities, for clarification, was not that great. I was just saying the aesthetics of the ship.
The aesthetics was nice because we would sit around the edge and look at some of the parades downstairs, remember? And
I remember
lots of shopping inside the mall.
A little older looking ship for me.
It was for her age.
We were on the same ship?
Yeah. How old are you?
Oh, girl, I'm 58. Look at it, girl. See those numbers back there?
58. So it was her age group. I don't know what to say.
Me either. But at any rate, that's what I remember. So the Royal, you would have a nice time. Now, one thing I do recall, they do not, I repeat, they do not have a lot of kid-friendly stuff. If they didn't have that team club for Zaire and Mario, I really don't know what they would have done. That's basically all they did. What else I would have expected, I don't know. But it just didn't feel like the kids were. Oh, and another thing, once the ship Royal docks and you go on the excursion to whatever country you're at, it's not, they shut down most of the activities on the Royal. That they couldn't play basketball, they couldn't play
water ski,
the water ski thing. So they shut down a lot once you're at your port. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, so the kids won't have a fabulous time on the Royal, but I mean, it's a cruise.
They'll have a good time if they're old enough.
Yeah. Now the Virgin Aesthetics, as you can see, which might be my favorite ship before we conclude, the Virgin Aesthetics, from entry as you're embarking, beautiful decor, all red loungy type furniture, so comfortable, so cozy. We're not going to talk about the processing line just yet. That's on our next area. But the aesthetics was beautiful. The lounges, they had lounges like everywhere. They had little cubbyhole lounges everywhere, and it seemed like all the lounges had different types of furniture. It was really modern, very comfortable. What else did I put for aesthetics? I had luxury feel. Of course, no kids, so it was quiet, right? It was so nice and serene. And again, tons of lounges, bars. Oh, that's another thing. They have bars I heard on one of the on YouTube, because before we travel, I YouTube everything, and I love watching people's videos. That's why I kind of wanted to do this one as well, just to give you an idea of what to expect. And I heard that the Virgin Voyage, they nickname it the Booze Cruise because which might be true, because them folks
we didn't have one drop though. We didn't have any.
Well, they give you free champagne.
When we took off, there was champagne.
On arrival, as they welcome you in, they give you, and they tell you to take as much as you want. It's only an hour that you can drink as much champagne as you want. I'm not a drinker. She's not a drinker. It puts both of us to sleep. So only she had a glass of champagne. She took a tiny little sip. I took a tiny sip, and we set that glass down somewhere. So we weren't the drinkers, but they have bars. If you're a drinker, you're gonna have a bar. They have bars everywhere. Again, with the aesthetics, most of their cabins have balconies. I know they have a lot of interior cabins. They may have some that's not interior but does not have a balcony. But what I read and what I heard and what I actually saw, most of their cabins, even not your suites, you're going to have a balcony, which is really, really good, because their price point is a little higher than the other cruise lines. They're a little higher,
more expensive.
So you're definitely going to pay, for some of the ambiance and some of the furniture and the modernization of it. So yeah, the balcony was a really cool plus for us, and plus the hammock. If you saw some of my videos, the hammock was so comfortable and such a nice little touch that you're able to relax on the balcony other than just sitting in the chair. You can actually go to sleep. I actually did fall asleep one night out on the balcony. I woke myself up snoring. But anywho, so what else do I have? Oh, let's talk about the rooms. You want to talk about the rooms for the Carnival and the Royal?
Well, I mean, the rooms were nice for all three. The rooms are what's that? The rooms
all three. Oh shit! The rooms were okay for the first two.
She did ask me, right?
Oh,
go ahead.
The rooms were okay for the first two. The rooms were nice for the Virgin. Now the Carnival rooms, they were small, right? They were small.
And they were attached suites so that you could have your kids right next door and just open the door in between and check on them. That was really nice.
They had the option on the Royal. That's when we took the boys. So we had an adjacent suite.
And same thing on the Carnival.
They had the option on the Carnival as well. So the rooms were tight. The bed was like almost right up against the wall. You really had to scoot an inch. And they didn't have a lot of places to put your large suitcases. And the beds weren't tall that you can, store underneath and stuff. So it was kind of tight for Val and I in the room because we really didn't have a lot of places to put our.
For which place was it tight?
For the Carnival and the Royal.
Okay.
We didn't have a lot of places to store our clothes, so we basically lived out of a suitcase. We never usually unpack and hang stuff up or anything like that. But when we got on the Virgin, hey, I started to unpack, and Val was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Girl, I'm unpacking. Look at all this closet space." She said, "I guess I might as well too." I said, "We're gonna be here for like 5 nights, 6 days. I'm going to get comfortable because I hate just digging through suitcases because you lose stuff gets messy.
And she brings so much.
And I bring a lot. My brain has to be so organized when it comes to my stuff. So we unpacked and we had space left over. Like, again, I don't know if you saw my videos, but I tried to pan to see how many clothes we actually brought that we didn't need. So we had ample space. We packed a lot. We hung up a lot. We stored a lot in the cubby holes. They had dresses, drawers, hanging. They had space for everything and some left over. And their beds were tall enough that you could scoot your suitcases under the bed. And
also, they had refrigerators.
Oh, another touch. They had refrigerators. What cruise line put refrigerators? Probably one of the upper echelon of cruise lines put refrigerators in the room, because they usually don't want you to be that comfortable in a room. I mean, granted, there wasn't a microwave, but there was a refrigerator in the room, and they service you every day and refill your water, sparkling or flat water, in a refrigerator every single day. So that was such a groovy touch. And another thing about the rooms was the nice little touch of the remote being on the iPad.
Yeah, once
took a minute for Val to get used to.
Yes.
Took a minute for her to get. I could care less about the TV.
So the iPad was the TV remote. It also opened the curtains. It also cut lights on and off.
Yeah. It had a lot of functions to it. So now the food. One of my favorite topics. The food. Okay, let me read from my list. Need my glass. So the food on the Carnival, of course, you have the huge buffet that has every nationality you can almost think of in terms of cuisine. So you won't be left out if you prefer a different taste of food. So they have the huge buffet. In addition, on the ship main level where the pool and most of the entertainment is, they have a taco station. Of course, the Carnival is famous for the Guys Burgers that people rip the Guys Burgers apart. That's the cruise my mom went on with us, and she loved Guys Burgers.
And so did I.
And so did Val. So they tore that up. And my favorite, they had an Indian station, they had a seafood station, a barbecue station, they had ice cream stations, more than one ice cream station throughout the ship. And of course, they have the specialty restaurants. However, on the Carnival and the Royal, you have to pay for the specialty restaurants. And those are just your more elegant, more sit down, white linen, tablecloth kind of restaurants you order from a menu. But those Carnival and Royal had, but they came with an extra cost. Of course, you had the drink package on the Carnival and Royal that you have to pay for, meaning included sodas, specialty coffees,
or a liquor package,
or an alcohol package you have to pay for. Water is free. However, the Carnival and the Royal don't have water stations. You're encouraged to bring like your tumbler water jug, but to get it filled, you have to go to the bar. If you don't have a tumbler so they can fill you a good volume of water at a time, they're going to just give you these tiny little cups of water that you're going to have to go back and forth to drink. So if you're going on a cruise, take a tumbler so they can fill up you some water so you won't have to keep going back and forth to the bar. The Virgin, I'm just going to skip ahead for a second. They have water stations everywhere. The water, you don't have to worry about it. And plus they supply you with water in your room. That's one thing I like about them. So the Royal and the Carnival don't have water stations. The food, they have a formal night. The Carnival and the Royal does have a formal night where you get up, you get dressed, you have dinner with the captain, you sit at a table with other cruisers, and you just kind of...
photography night.
Yeah, and photo night, that's right. And you just kind of enjoy your nice fancy dinner with the captain. So that was a Carnival and the Royal. Carnival had more late night 24-hour eating options. Royal didn't. They only had like a pizza, little
sandwich.
parlor and like those little French sandwiches, little hard sandwiches, not really robust kind of good sandwiches, but it was food, but that was it.
But it was available 24/7.
It was available 24/7. Now the food on the Virgin. Now the Virgin does not have a huge buffet. You guys know a lot of people cruise only for the food. They go for the food because they know they have so much food on the buffet. The food, okay? Now Royal, I was a little disappointed at first when I realized they didn't have all the food on the buffet, right? They don't have a big buffet. They have it's called a galley, and it's like a food court, but they have a main area where they're gonna have dinner. And what they have in that little dinner section is what you're gonna get for dinner that night. They don't have a lot of buffet options to choose from. It could be chicken or beef or whatever with a few sides.
So to make it fair, they have the galley with the main foods, but also surrounding the galley, they had a taco area, and they had the what's the little Chinese basket? What do you call it? With the rolled rice area.
No, I was going to get to the other stations like a food court, but I'm just saying the main dining.
But that was in the galley.
But like their main dining little hot food area for dinner, if you didn't want any of the other stuff, this was all you had for dinner for that day. But they did have the taco. They have the taco station, the Asian. They had two Asian stations. One was the sushi bento box, and one was I saw you piercing. No, I was gonna say they had the other ones, but what I was saying was,
which is located in the galley.
Right.
Anyway.
But yeah, they just
They had
have
a
a
salad
lot of
area.
buffet options.
They had a salad area. They had where you make
The
the
noodle
beans and rice
station.
and the noodles. Then they had the
What else
beans
did
and
they
rice and
have?
corn area where you can have a bowl made, like a beans, rice, and corn bowl.
Like a taco bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also they had like an ice cream station in there. They had, of course you can get,
popsicles.
and they had hamburgers and French fries all the time.
And then they had pastry area. They had
Yeah.
a fruit bowl. It was plenty.
It was plenty to eat, but what I was saying was they don't have a lot of options on their main little buffet thing. I don't even know what I'm trying to describe something that I can't find the words to describe.
Restaurants with the special foods in it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I'm describing is usually on one huge buffet, but they branched it out to like a food court, different culture, nationality foods in different sections. But like she said, you won't go hungry. It's just the setup is just a little different. That's all. The setup is just a little different. The food was really good. Again, now they're specialty restaurants. You don't have to pay extra. They're all included. Of course, gratuity for the Virgin is all included as well.
Now, these are restaurants that are not in the galley. They had restaurants on several different floors. Some of them are Italian, Mexican,
Seafood
Korean, steak. So that many restaurants that were all included in your price.
So yeah, on the Virgin, all the specialty restaurants, if you want fine dining, sit down with the white linen tablecloth, you're gonna get it, and it's definitely all included. And the menu choices were pretty good. The food was pretty good. Some we enjoy more than others, but for the most part, it was there. I won't say it was free.
And
it was
you
included.
can order as many items
at
the restaurants as you want.
And we took advantage of that too.
They allowed you can say, I want one of everything on the menu, and they would bring it to you with a smile.
Yes, they say, and they actually encourage you. They say, that's all you want? Here, why don't you try this? Well, I recommend you try this too. Why don't you try this? So they encourage you to order as much as you want. So that was the Virgin with the food. Of course, they had room service on Virgin as well at night, 24-hour room service.
Oh, and
then
pizza stand. Also had a pizza stand.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's like a mod pizza. You know those mod pizza places now where they make it on demand, your pizza. Some people didn't like that. Some videos I saw, they wanted the pizza to already be readily available, because once you make it on demand, when you have a long line, you're waiting for them to cook your pizza. And for some people, that was just nerve-wracking, because usually they have pizza slices already available. But I didn't have pizza. Val said it didn't take that long. So I think we talked about activities. We just kind of bounced around. But again, just let's see if I missed some things for the Carnival and the Royal. We talked about the pool, the entertainment, and all that stuff. And let's see. Oh, now for the Virgin, they have a lot of shows on the Virgin. Like a lot of adult shows. And in my opinion, some adult shows are a little adult.
Risque.
Very adult and very risque. So like if you're kind of prude, I hate to say it, or you're like a Christian, you may not appreciate some of the shows.
I'm a Christian and I appreciate it.
I did too. I mean, there are different levels of Christianity. Trust and believe, but we won't go there. That's a topic I don't discuss. But at any rate, if you're one of those types who certain languages kind of doesn't sit well in your soul, you won't enjoy just some of the shows. And we did see some people leaving. I don't know why they were leaving, but they may have been it. But to us, they were funny. They were entertaining. They were really cool. They do have a lot of shows to choose from. They have a lot of activities to choose from for adults. Of course, it's an all adult cruise. So they really cater to almost all of your needs. They have a lot of gym stuff. If you're a gym rat,
oh my God.
Oh, you want to keep your workout going on the Virgin. We started it off, the workouts, but then we started getting really tired the evening because we were up late enjoying the ship, and we were exhausted. So I think we may have gone to the gym maybe once or twice, and we were like, okay, we're good. We're on vacation.
I know something you forgot to put on.
Yeah.
They have a tattoo lounge.
Yeah, first ship we had a tattoo, and people were actually getting tattoos.
Lots of people.
Yes. So tattoo. So the entertainment, they do have a lot of shows. They have a lot of late night shows. During the day is basically just games, puzzles, trivia, what else? Bingo, stuff like that. At night is where they do most of the shows. And at night, and that's why we took so many clothes, because all the YouTube videos that I was watching, people weren't dressed down as much as they were on the Carnival and the Breeze. I was like, these people kind of dress a little like, like they're going out to dinner and, during the day, and they're not as casual. They're kind of midway, like office attire maybe. We took them clothes, them people. Short sandals.
But some are dressed very well.
Right. The good thing is that on the Virgin,
either way.
You make it your own. If that's how you want to dress. Some people walking around with heels and fancy outfits all day long. And some folks, their shorts and leggings and flip-flops all day long. So however you want to be on the Virgin, it's open. You won't look crazy, like, in my opinion, if you're on a Carnival or the Royal, wearing something nice and fancy with stilettos on, walking around. You would look on the Virgin. It was nice. It was just nice to see. Okay, so what else did I put on here in terms of activities? Like I said, the Virgin has so many classes to include aerobics, yoga, meditation, wellness, skin classes. They're the bungee thing class that we missed because we were tired.
Another thing, painting classes, drawing, coloring classes.
And I think Carnival and Royal, they do have an app, to kind of, keep you in contact with other people that you're traveling with on the thing. However, the Virgin app they highly depend on the app. You have to download that app in order to pretty much do anything on the ship. Make dinner reservations. Some of the classes you needed reservations for, but most of them you didn't. They do recommend that you download the app and you can start making reservations for those specialty restaurants at least up to 45 days in advance, or you can do it on the ship. We missed the 45 days advance. I marked on my calendar wrong. So we were like, oh my God, we're not going to be able to do any specialty restaurants, but they do reserve some spaces for those people who missed that cutoff time. We were able to eat at all the restaurants except two, and those two we didn't want to try. One was a Korean barbecue. We had just had that, and the other one was a test kitchen.
Test kitchen.
Yeah, that you really don't know what you're gonna get. So we
didn't want to be tested.
We didn't want to be tested. So again, the excursions, all the excursions, depending on the Caribbean island you're going to, they're pretty much the same. You're gonna do a scuba diving, swimming with the dolphins. I was gonna say the sharks.
Four-wheel
ATV. So we had been there, done that. We did that, in Jamaica. So it was really hot, and we rather err on the side of caution when we go to these different countries and not kind of take that risk. So, and we really wanted to enjoy just a relaxation kind of vacation. So we enjoy the beaches and we enjoy the cruise in particular. So on a scale from 1 to 10, which cruise line did I like the best so far? If you can't already tell, It was the Virgin. Yes. You.
So I liked all of them, and
Okay.
I would like
For
to
different
say
reasons,
for
huh?
different reasons,
Got it,
and
got
I would
it.
also like to say that her excitement for the Virgin, we just came back, so that one she remembers the most. And each time we went to others, she was just as excited. So the time has made her
Okay.
lose some of the excitement for the others. But
I can work with that. I can work with that.
I would go to any of them, and I enjoyed all of them.
I did. I really enjoyed them all. Like she said, the first time I ever cruised was on the Royal, and I was super excited. And to me, that was the best cruise ever. And then when I went to the Carnival and we had family and the kids, excuse me, I was excited because it was very vibrant, entertaining. And then that was the best cruise ever. And then maybe she may be right.
And
then the Virgin was a new experience.
The other thing I would say is that we were just the two of us on the Virgin, so we got to pay attention to a lot more details than we would have when we had the kids with us or when we were our family.
Very true, very true. We really got to enjoy the ship and a lot of the amenities and a lot of the entertainment, because like she said, we didn't have to worry about going to pick up the kids from the daycare and what they're going to do, where they're going to eat and all that stuff. So that has a lot to do with it as well. And the price points are very different. I won't put any price points. I won't say that because the price is different. There's seasonal prices. You know, you get discount rates if you're booking on your own, or if someone's helping you book your trip. You know, the rates vary like you would not believe. So the price points, I will say, however, in my recollection, the Carnival was the least expensive one. And again, Royal was mid-range, and the Virgin. You're gonna pay a little extra, but the amenities, to me, you're gonna get your money's worth. So,
and the staff was so
the
nice.
staff on the Virgin was phenomenal.
They make you feel like royalty.
Yeah. So if you do a cruise with your family and your kids, please one day just set aside and invest in that Virgin cruise just for you guys, just for the adults. Leave the kids at home and enjoy that ship, and you're gonna really have a good time. And I think that's about it. We had a fun time. Oh, and what I do recall is one thing that we could have done different was the ship docked from Miami. We flew from Houston the day prior, so that was okay. Now, what I didn't notice, I think we booked the round trip flight reservations. Is it still recording? Yeah, we're looking at
1 minute.
Yeah, I got a minute. We booked the round trip flight reservation before I realized what time the cruise returned back to Miami. So we already had our Houston trip booked to return home, and we didn't realize the cruise returned to Miami like at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And everyone has to be off the boat by 10:30.
Right. So you could actually fly home that same day that you return back to Miami. We didn't realize that. So that's why we had to stay over that extra night in Miami, because we had already booked to return home the day after we returned from Miami. But we could have left the same day, but just so you know. But enjoy whatever cruise you choose to go on for the first time, if you're a first timer. If not, taking advantage of the Virgin Voyage if you can. You won't be disappointed. And that just kind of concludes our little recap of our little small little cruise life. But more to come. Until next time, would you say that?
Toodles.
She said toodles.